All right, good afternoon. I hope you have your lunch ready if you're in Pacific time. Thank you for being here. I am very excited about sharing these tips and tools with you. We're going to go through case studies. We're going to be talking about reality because I'll share with you how people have been able to make great results in just doing a couple shifts here and there and being able to celebrate that. Then at some point, feeling stuck, maybe gaining some weight, maybe feeling like they just were not focused as much as they were originally, how they were able to get motivated again the second time around and being able to get bigger results, being able to get where they want to get to and consistently moving forward. I'm going to be sharing with you today somebody that is in their 1 month program to 1 year to 3 years. So you have this whole massive view of how it is to be able to really focus in and make it a life situation. Sometimes we just lose our way, so this is a great way to kind of present to you in reality what really happens. If you have not received your Power Play book, which is going to give you all the healthy stuff and be able to keep you focused in on today and taking notes, I added that to your sidebar on the side that says Healthy Power Play book. Make sure you click that. It'll open up a new tab for you, and then you'll have that. And you can print it up, you can write notes, but that book is yours. Welcome. Have a great 1 hour with me. We may even be longer, we may be shorter. You can ask questions as we're going along. Because we're also going to be talking about diagnostic tools, and I'll explain to you what that is because it's all about not waiting until your doctor diagnoses you with something, but listening to your energy. Do you have your ups and downs? When is that? Really starting to look at your face and even your tongue. We're going to talk about your tongue today because each organ connects with a part of your tongue. And so all this wonderful stuff so that you can start healing right now. I've seen clients that have really felt very motivated these days in learning these ways of really having the diagnostic tools, because then it's not just getting on the scale and watching the scale go up and down. This is so much more deeper than what you could even think about in the Western medicine side. But I have to tell you, this stuff has been around thousands of years, so it's been proven, used time and time again. And I'm going to give it to you in real realistic terms. So you're not just looking in one specific area. Once we start looking at the diagnostic tools, I'm going to have you take a step back and start thinking about, well, what else is happening that, that maybe your tongue has been white consistently. Well, what else can be happening? You start going into that, the symptoms and what you're feeling and how your body is feeling. So we're going to really talk about the energy of the body and making sure that everything's flowing through nicely. So welcome here today. Roll your shoulders back, take a nice big inhale, reach up your arms and just stretch, because I want you to be fully focused and present, and it's a great way to start it. So balance blood sugars to flat belly and energy to live present daily. What you need, a mirror or a phone so that you can look at your face, your Healthy Power Play workbook, which I have a link for you on the right if you did not get that, and a mindset of wanting results in action. So none of this stuff like I have never been able to lose weight, so I don't even know why I'm here. I'm just going to be listening just because I want you to really turn that around. If you've been having a hard time losing weight, then I want you to start using these tools because it's going to help you feel ultimately good by just making little changes here and there. I don't know if I finished my story about just seeing clients really transition to where they're starting to see changes just based on looking at using the diagnostic tools. So please tell me if these things are helping you, because I love to hear about your personal journey and if the information I'm sharing with you is helping. Shawn Achor, happiness is not the belief that we don't need to change, it's the realization that we can. So we're going to take this jump start off on this platform today with Shawn Achor really saying that we actually have the power to change. It's just realizing that we can. So giving ourselves the okay. So we're going to be talking about 5 steps to rid your body of sugar. Well, we need to do that because most of our issues with having issues with not getting a flat belly and also with low energy has a direct connection with sugar. Reviewing of 3 case studies for strategies. And the third one, diagnostic tools to use right now for healing. I'll intertwine that throughout our discussion today, so you're getting bits and pieces of all 3 of these areas. If you have your Power Play book open, you want to go down into your area, the discussion right after me. There is an area where you can write down some information that you're going to be learning here. So let's talk about the facts, and we're going to, again, still focus on sugar. Sugar generally will link to diabetes if we don't get a handle on it. So if you feel that you're struggling with sugar daily, I want you to think about the symptoms that diabetics have, the symptoms that you're having. It doesn't mean you are 100% going to get diabetes. It has nothing to do with that. It has to do with being able to visualize your body and noticing that it is struggling. And instead of waiting for your doctor to diagnose you with an illness later on, we're taking action today. So let's talk about this. 10% of our population has been diagnosed with diabetes 2. Others have not been diagnosed. So they're talking about 30 million people having diabetes. And with not making shifts to, going away from the packaged foods and really learning about different things that are out there to help your journey and enhance it, so a lot of people, this information hasn't come out to them yet, or maybe they are not interested. It's a really big shift, mind shift, in where we're at right now. So I'm happy that you're here, and I don't want to see this 10% get even bigger, but they're estimating that's going to get bigger and bigger each year. And what's very interesting is that it's a lifestyle disease, and it's reversible. Now what happens is when you start eating the sugar to where you're feeling very addicted, and sometimes you feel like almost like scared because you are trying to stay away from sugar, but you feel the anxiety happening, that you realize that the sugar is really hurting your body, and it's affecting every process from hormone to your body having extra insulin into it, to having a bigger belly, which is going to wrap, that fat is going to wrap all around your organs, which then you have double the chance of having a heart attack because it's all wrapped around your organs, really affects your circulation. But as you start using these tools, you're going to notice that you're going to have more energy. Well, you're stepping further away from any diagnosis of type 2 diabetes. So anything with seeing the belly become smaller, to the pores becoming a little smaller, to feeling vibrant, to seeing your skin become really shiny and beautiful, all that means that you're healing. So again, we're talking about sick as in our body's not feeling as great as it should. And I want you to really step away from anything about, well, am I feeling bad because I'm old, whatever old is, because it's a really funny thing for us to say, but I'll tell you it's one of the sabotages, because it isn't easy out. Oh, I'm 45, so it has to be because I'm getting older. Or I'm 74, which is one of my clients. It's because I'm getting older. I'm telling you, don't compare yourself to somebody else. Just think about how you feel right now and how much better you can feel just by making a shift. So just clarity in the way that we're thinking, in the way that we place our thoughts. You know that you could be living with diabetes for over 10 years before you get diagnosed. So all this stuff that we're talking about, this is why we're talking about it, is because you can have symptoms and nothing come up, and your doctor saying that you are fine, that you're not sick. But it really comes down to, how are you feeling? Why are you here? And just being able to connect with that so we can go into how it affects your day. So many things. And one thing I really want to say is that rheumatoid arthritis, I have quite a few people that I've been around that have that. You know that that's really like an autoimmune disease. So with extra stress happening, with extra, maybe eating extra bread. I have a lot of clients that are so focused on eating bread because it's like their go-to comfort, that this stuff inflames you, and really your body starts seeing this food as an enemy. And it can happen. And so you start having things where you have overuse of organs, you have hazy in the head, hungry real quick. I just got done with the group that was working in 2-week cleanse with me, and there were so many emotions that were high the first few days because it was very difficult to shed that intensity towards eating sugar every day. You'll be reaching for more food since you're swinging back and forth. Also, you start feeling like that it is all your fault. And I want to talk about this in a moment, why it is not your fault. So let's go into that deeper in a moment. Weight gain, not fitting in the clothes, and sometimes this can happen overnight. And you know what it usually is inflammation. So premature aging, because you have sticky skin. So you're going to notice that even though you may have wrinkles in your skin, as you change, you're going to find that your wrinkles become more smooth, which is really cool to watch. I just had a client recently that finished the cleanse with me, and I cannot believe how beautiful her skin looks, way different than before. Also, you know, you're overworking your pancreas when you are dealing with eating a lot of sugar, and you're affecting your cells. It ages your cells so bad. Very much connected with, of course, cancer too. I have worked with a couple of cancer specialists, physicians, and it's very, very interesting because they put cancer in the same arena as any chronic disease. So very interesting, huh? I already talked about arthritis, joint pain because of swelling, muscle pain, of course, because you're not getting the nutrients to where it needs to go, kidney stones because your body is highly acidic. We're going to talk about acidity today. It's another area. Immune deficiency. So I was talking about autoimmune diseases, so you have to be really careful of what you're eating if you're starting to get achiness in your knuckles. And you know, as we age, our body becomes more sensitive. So then it's like you have to be so true and realistic with your journey and not flubbing up too much. So I never believe that you have to be 100% clean and perfect because your body can handle some of it. But you have to find that line for yourself where you can stay consistently bringing your belly to flat so we don't have a lot of fat within the organs, and that you're keeping your energy up, because energy means that your body is not cycling through your system. Also, what I talked about is that it can be found to be a contributor to cancer. So sugar is like a flame when it comes to sugar. Why this bad cycle about us feeling like it is our fault, that we have full control over this? This is like the highlight of what I've been talking about in the 3 videos I've released that have really brought into this webinar that I'm doing today. Do you know that, you know, when you wake up in the morning and the way that your mind thinks to throughout your day and to by the end of the day how you're feeling, a lot of that is swayed back and forth based on the foods that you're eating. And so instead of thinking about what we're doing, we will just feed it because our back of our mind is saying, do it, do it, do it, when you know that it's probably food that you should not be eating. You should not be eating. And then also, your body, your body has been shifted based on the food that you're eating. And so you're going to have these crazy hunger pains and crazy swings back and forth in emotions. And we don't have a lot of a control over what we do and put in our mouth until we start using the tools I'm going to be sharing with you today. Because instead of going into it emotionally and saying, I've never been able to lose weight, I don't feel good about myself, oh my gosh, I look terrible, oh my gosh, I look fat, I want you to step into that you're not helpless, that you are going to be learning some tools today that's going to make you feel magnificent. It's going to make you feel like you have control over what you are doing, and the ability to be able to keep yourself moving forward by using incremental steps. Be aware that your digestion is different than anybody else's. If you look on the inside of your hand and look at your imprint or your fingerprint, you know how individual that is? That's your digestive tract also, your digestion. So what may affect somebody else, and they can eat stuff, to what you can eat, and having the, you know, maybe your body's not digesting foods the way that maybe your friend, you know, they can eat whatever. Or something affects your friend, but it doesn't affect you. I mean, it goes back and forth. So whatever is going on, you have to start looking at yourself. And that's why we say that not one diet is for all. And so today I'm coaching in a group format where it's giving you the tools so you can start looking at what's going on, and you can really utilize these tools to look at yourself individually. Instead of me giving you a meal plan and you saying, I'm going to follow this exactly, and it maybe kind of working for your body and maybe not, I'm telling you to just be aware of what's happening. Start listening to yourself more, because your body really will tell you more once you start realizing that you have the power. Biggest thing about your digestion is not eating on the run and being in a hurry. I have a lot of clients that have kids, and so they are into, from young, all the way up to teenagers where they're running all over the place. It could be when the other kids are first starting to learn to walk, to sports and school activities. And so it is crazy busy. So it's giving the time to have these, one-offs where you are running and you eat on the run. But for the most part, giving yourself time, even at least 5 minutes, to eat and sit so that you can really start the digestion in your mouth as you're chewing and using your saliva for the enzymes before it goes into your belly and then down into your digestion, and being able for the whole hormone process to happen. We use 80 hormones just to get our digestion in proper order. So if your hormones are off, we're not just talking about your monthly stuff happening. We're talking every time you eat, that it's going to affect you. It's going to bring you into constipation where you have lower back pain and not feeling well. So just think about that stuff. So not always eating on the run and not always being in a hurry. Even if you have a busy schedule, figure out how to do it so you don't feel as frantic. So you feel that you're in more control. You're going to notice big difference. I'm going to share you my first case study, and I even have updates for what's been happening with Michaela. So I'm really excited. Some great stuff happening for her. Now this person, she's been with me in this program for a year. And Michaela's real special to me because she has struggled in so many areas, but has been able to get results, go on a plateau for a while, reinvest in herself, and then go back into making changes again. So here she has like 50 to 70 pounds more than what she has on herself right now. She's already lost almost 8 pant sizes. Almost 8. Crazy, but true. So what happened was when she came in, she was fully using food as comfort food. She ate fast food, drank soda every day. So every meal was eaten at a fast food place. And what went with that was soda. So you have a lot of hormonal shifts happening based on eating this junk food. So you can see she's extremely puffy and not as confident. She looks like she's having a great day, but not as confident. Just, I'll show you the next picture of her, which is going to blow your mind. But she basically could not even physically work out very much. When she would work out, her asthma would show up. And so there was a time that she actually had an asthma attack right in front of me. It was very scary, but she had asthma real bad. So she's been working on that. And then she was not feeling good about herself, which happens to all of us. As soon as you can't fit in your pants or you have to go into bigger pants, oh my gosh, we start really feeling like we're not worthy of anything. And so at this point, she was in a relationship that was not good for her. So think about that too, not feeling good about herself. So she stepped into a relationship that just never was working for her. And when we first started working together, she always told me she was going to be with this person, even though she knew it was the wrong person for her to be with. So she's been able to move and transition out of that relationship on her own terms. Excuse me. Yeah, so, just wonderful, positive, mental, healthy stuff going on. And also she didn't have a good support system. So now she's been part of the journey of working with me. So she has a community. So make sure you go to your friends and you have them on board with what you're doing, because your community, each time you make a change, you're going to have some great support. And when you know you're making a step and it's not just all by yourself, it's a way different feeling. So good support is important to get through your journey. So we had to make some changes for her because she started finding that she was getting these results, but she was also starting to go back to her other ways of having soda every day. And so she plateaued, and she was using the first diagnostic tool I usually use with my clients. This is why I call it a diagnostic tool. Is because there's so many things going on with us that will say, oh, I don't know why I do this. Well, I don't know. It's just who I am. Well, I don't know. But once you start listening to yourself, you realize that there's so much going on in your mind. It becomes very powerful. It becomes that you're able to really step into who you are. And the diagnostic here is listening to your sabotages. Once you clear it up, that big epiphany of telling yourself certain things or not listening to yourself all of a sudden opens up a new world for you to where you feel empowered. And the empowerment also gives you that energy and that drive to make changes because you're starting to see yourself in a new light. So Michaela started talking about like what inspires her. She started using her journal and writing. And she started also listening to her sabotages, what was stopping her, what was not giving her that inspiration. And so I have a question for you, which one I asked her too. Do you believe that you stop yourself from getting to the next level, to the next step? Do you tell yourself you don't have time? I just don't have time. Even though you may be running throughout the day, there's always time to give back to yourself so you have more energy. So it's a really step into it kind of attitude, and that, whatever happens, kind of taking the control out of having such a busy day, so that once you give back to yourself more, that you will be able to do things quicker. Your mind will think quicker. You're going to feel inspired throughout the day. So then you have like this get up and go, this little positive pep in your step that you haven't had before. So do you stop yourself from getting to the next level? This is so important. Doesn't matter what stage, if you have kids or if you are working all the time. It really matters that you have to step into making a commitment to yourself and how you're going to do that. So this is Michaela now. This is at her 5-month mark. She lost 19 pounds, lost total inches 11 and a quarter, and total body fat of 6%. And she did that with portion control, clearing her mental sabotages, working out, changing her food choices, and commitment to herself. A new commitment to herself. But just the other day, we have new stats for her. So I'm really excited to share this even more. Has increased and she's gotten into her journey, another layer here. So like I said, she plateaued, kind of lost her momentum. Now she's getting right back into it. She's lost a total of 22 pounds, 14 and a half inches, almost 8 pant sizes, and 7.5% of body fat. That is so hard to shift. So big change. Look at the big smile on her face. She is just an incredible person going through her journey. So yes, Michaela. So what you want to learn from Michaela is that no matter where you are, especially if you have a lot of weight, whatever that is for you in your mind and you feel that way, that there's always step-ins to slowly get yourself inspired. Instead of going on a diet and just trying to change everything and really having a not a good cycle and a momentum going in your life, you want to learn to be able to take those little steps. We talked about journaling, and we also talked about really listening to yourself and what you're saying. So Michaela's a great one. So that was your 1 year inspiration of case study. All right, so 5 steps to rid the body of sugar are reduce or eliminate caffeine, drink water, eat sweet vegetables and fruit, get physically active, get more sleep, rest, and relaxation. So the most important thing that I could see you jumping off with today is drinking water. Drinking water is going to help your nutrients move through your body. A big thing that I do with my clients is we work on the physical body with connective tissue working on, which is your 3rd layer of skin. You have 1, 2, 3 layers of skin. The innermost part of your skin is called your connective tissue, your fascia. That intertwines and holds your belly together, your organs, your joints, your muscles. And if you are dry in any of that area, then it's going to give you arthritis. It's been connected with nutrients not getting to the bone, so osteoporosis. So many things. So I want you to keep drinking your water to help the nutrients move along. The interesting thing is about the reducing or eliminating caffeine. That's a really important one for you to connect with, because I know there's a lot of studies out there about caffeine being good for you, but let's bring it back to the swinging of the energy. There's so many wonderful things out there for you, so there's no reason to keep caffeine in your life and doing it every single morning, every day, once you start in your journey. So this isn't the first thing. I think drinking water is the first thing. That's the first thing I usually have my clients doing. But as you're going along, start thinking about the caffeine, how much you're doing, and slowly eliminating it. People that did the cleanse this cycle, I had people that were drinking probably 4 cups of coffee throughout the day, and then they just slowly eliminated it as they were going along. And that really helped with the swings. Like when you have a lot of energy from the adrenaline of drinking the caffeine, and you start coming down, you're not reaching for more caffeine or sugar, but you are learning how to really balance that more. So because it's an up and down cycle of energy. Again, drinking water is the biggest thing. And then I would say the second thing is getting out there physically active, because that's going to really help clear up your skin. This is a great one for being able to get your feeling like you're really happy, because it'll help you rid your body of sugar, because the more happy you are, the better you feel about yourself, the less you're going to be going for stuff like this. It'll be more consistent. And it doesn't mean you're going to fully give it up, because there's steps here. So whichever one you start with, then commit to it 100% as you're healing. And then as time goes on, you can shift a little bit and start entering some things in here, but you have to learn what's giving you the big cravings, and make sure you might need to eliminate that from your diet overall, and the things that you can eat that you really like, that really don't throw you off. And so it's really, truly a journey. So these are the 5 steps to rid the body of sugar, which is something you need to be doing to get to the next level of flat belly. So what's Aristotle saying that's so connected with this? We are what we repeatedly do. Excellence then is not an act, but a habit. It's a habit. So if you see those people out there that you think, oh my gosh, they're just so perfect, everything. And then when you start looking at what Aristotle says, and you start looking at yourself and the way that you've made changes and how you've grown and stepped up your game based on certain things that you've done, don't you think that's true? That excellence is just not just an act, but it really truly is a habit. So the more that you practice these above things, and you keep it in the forefront of the way you're thinking, in the center of your mind, the more this will happen. Excellence. Let me share with you the second case study. With Colleen, you're going to see that she has a 1-month program and what she was able to accomplish, but you're also going to notice that even her face will show, that she's still struggling with stuff. But within 1 month, she was able to get some great stuff. So let's see what she was struggling with. She was tired, unfocused, really unfocused. She's just starting a business when going through this. Bloated and dealing with general weakness, physical balance issues. Literally, it was hard for her to put her one knee up, off, 1 foot off the ground. General aches and pains. Within 2 weeks of focusing on the stuff that was important to her, which was she didn't want any of this anymore, because she knew that this was affecting her income in her business, that she needed to get herself out there, start talking to people, and get her legal business up and running successfully. So she, within 2 weeks, already less bloating. She was able to even put on pants that she was not able to put on, or dress suits, because of the bloating. But now she was able to focus on eating healthy, was in front of her mind, drinking for having more water and increased energy. So she's running her business and she was getting it to be running successfully, but she had to learn how to increase her energy, how to have success, how to not feel like she wanted to go back to bed, but literally take 1 foot in front of the other and walk out of the house so she could walk into places, start talking to people she already had connections with, people that she could start working with right away. She already had connections. So eating, and she felt like she was being successful in her health journey. She was able to get those results. And how we start really connecting is using acidity strips. Now, this is another diagnostic tool I want you to look at using. This is where you can get at Amazon. You can get anywhere But you have to really be focused in on why you want to be in an alkaline body instead of an acidity body. So I work with a group of ladies, they're dental hygienists, and they go in and they take the acidity test for all their patients. And so they talk about the teeth, you know, what's going off the teeth and why you don't want your body to be acidic. Well, it goes even deeper than that. It's not just in the mouth. And when I earlier I was saying that I have worked with cancer patients, cancer doctors that specialize in using holistic ways to heal cancer. And one of the doctors, Dr. Lodi, said that there is no way you can get cancer in an alkaline body. So if you're at 7.0, 6.8, you're in the alkaline area that you want to be in. When you're in the 5.5, this yellow area, you are highly acidic. And this is where you can get gallstones, kidney stones. You can have pains, extra bloating. We can wake up in the morning, have puffiness around the face because your body's trying to cleanse itself, but it's not doing it successfully because your cells are not healthy. So if your cells are not healthy, they're not going to be moving your body and cycling in your body. They're going to be sticky and not moving as fast. They're going to make your skin look more wrinkly, all of that. So how you start your journey is you do your test and you see from the strip what color this is, and you start connecting with how you're really feeling. And the acidity strip is basically in your face saying, this is what's going on. So you make a couple shifts. I gave you the 5 steps to rid your body of sugar. Start using them. And as you do, I would say test it every day for a week as you're making your changes and start seeing your body shift. And if your body's not shifting, then give yourself the space to keep consistently going through your journey. And as time goes on, your body will be able to start healing. Sometimes it takes a while. It just depends on what your body's dealing with and what's going on and how much you're stepping into these steps I'm giving you. And then once you start getting into this area, you're going to start feeling happy and feeling like you have energy. You're going to notice that your waistline has become more slender, or you're going to start losing weight pretty darn quick. This is a great way to test yourself here. The reason why you need the acidity testing is that you can know right away if you're eating the right foods for yourself. Because remember earlier we were talking about the digestion. Your digestion is unique relative to anybody else. As you start changing your foods, you start implementing new things. How much water do you need? Is your body feeling good on the amount of water that you're using? Caffeine, and going into the whole area of the 5 ways to rid your body of sugar, you're going to notice that your acidity should change. Also, that you're basically, if you're testing yourself, then you have that motivation. You have something in front of you that's telling you that you're healing your body. I had a client that she was telling me how she had all these hypothyroid symptoms, and she was going down the list, and it sounded exactly like she had hypothyroid. Just because we knew a lot about that area, because a lot of ladies deal with hypothyroid. And so she went in, she got her blood test, and the doctor said, nope, you're fine. There's nothing wrong with you. The blood tests are saying that you're fine. And then she came back and she just said, well, the doctor said that there's nothing wrong. They just said, I haven't been diagnosed with anything. So my thing is, if you haven't been diagnosed with anything, still listen to your body, because your body is trying to give you that wonderful information, because it's always in that healing mode. It's always trying to cleanse itself. And so instead of the doctor saying that your blood sugar, or that your thyroid, or that you're going down the line of all the different tests that they can do is normal or not looking very healthy, you want to be able to have more control over that. Instead of doing the same stuff and feeling like you don't have control over it, you're going to find that you can shift your blood test based on different shifts of, if you're doing meditation because you want to get yourself centered and strong, or based on the foods that you're eating, based on your mental strength and how negative you may be thinking through the day, or how you feel. You know, I know quite a few people that are in panic mode where they're just constantly running through the day, freaked out, scared that something bad is going to happen because they just run on fear. So the way you want to keep yourself motivated is using these diagnostic tools, journaling, really listening to yourself, to using the acidity strips. And as I said, Dr. Lodi, the cancer specialist, he said cancer cannot live in an alkaline body. This is a perfect diagnostic tool right here. Gives you instant access to what's going on, to if you're doing good stuff for your body. It'll help you connect with the list I gave you earlier. All right, so let's talk about a third case study. This is Samantha, 3 years of really focusing in on her body and what is going on. So what's really great about this is that she goes in even more in depth than anybody else, because as you keep going on, you learn more about yourself, you learn what works, you learn what doesn't work, and you still get confused like everybody else, but you have more tools to go back to. So through her journey, she's been able to get increased energy, feel more organized, which I'm going to talk about that. This is great about feeling more organized. Great story. And then making better food choices, weight loss, and emotionally more balanced. So emotionally more balanced is something that happens as you feel that you understand yourself more. It doesn't mean that you never go back there where you're just perfect. It means that when you start feeling yourself sway one way, that you grab onto those tools that you learned. And for her case, it's been 3 years of learning and being able to reset herself and refocus her energy and her journey in the right area, which is going to give her more balance. So what happened with Samantha is she felt very unorganized. There was a quarter where all she kept thinking about is how overloaded she felt. And so we started talking about, you know, how are you going to get to that next level if you feel like there's like a cloud over your head and you're feeling unorganized? What's that going to do for you? You can't get to the next step if that's really on your mind, and that's going to be your block. That's going to be a way you're not going to be able to step forward until we get you moving on. So she spent 3 months of really organizing her house. So she slowly did it. And instead of having, you know, 4 big stacks of stuff on the counter and having her junk drawer all stuffed full of stuff, and having her cupboards slightly organized, to, you know, a hall closet, really understand like what's in there and what she was using everything for. She actually took step by step, going in and clearing the clutter. And that helped her being able to walk into the house, relax, and make good food choices because she wasn't feeling stuck. And she is at a stage where her kids are very busy, a lot of homework, and they have extracurricular activities, they have sports, they have, I mean, there's so much going on. So, of course, if you feel unorganized, you're going to move slower in the day because you're going to be concerned about other things going on. And so she's able to connect by using the time of feeling organized. Now, don't get me wrong, that's not the only thing she was doing. Since she's been in the program for so much time, she's consistently working out, she's consistently reviewing her foods. But again, you have stuff that just throws you off, and you have to go back and use the tools to come right back and get yourself centered. And she's finding that she's more slender than she has been in a long time since she was younger. So when she came in, she got some great quick results, and then she kind of got really stuck. So just recently she was ready to invest in herself some more, so she jumped into this 14 days of coaching with me, and she went in and she was saying how she wanted to refocus on her goals and not blow them off, because at that point she was feeling like she was just not finding the inspiration, but she was ready to reconnect, which is important. You have to be aware of how you're feeling and then do what I know I need to do to get myself and my body in alignment. Because if you don't feel like you're in alignment because there's so many things that are pushing you left and right, it's really a decision. The first thing that I said on the slide that we were looking at when we first stepped in together was that you have to be in that mindset that you're ready to take the action. And as the action starts happening, you get a momentum going, and she was looking for that. Also that she was feeling calmness and excitement again. So calmness, meaning connect with meditation, connecting with your deep breaths, connection with yoga. And then the excitement again is, how are you going to get out there to feeling like you're ready to jumpstart your journey again, because you've been doing it for a while. So how do you reset that? So it's very interesting. So what I'm doing with my clients now and with her is looking at things that you can physically see on yourself to help you reconnect with your journey, and really knowing that you may be hurting some of your organs. So I want you to get your mirror out or your phone, and I want you to get on that camera if you're on your phone and start looking at what is happening. So think about this. The tongue diagnostic tools do not work by themselves. This is the beginning journey of looking at something that can be happening in your body. So I'm going to give you an example of two, so then you can understand if your tongue really is telling you something. So we're going to look at it. You can see the different organs that get touched through the circulation or the meridian points. And looking at that breakout, and now moving over to here and looking at your full tongue. Pale, which is linked with a back area of being white, or your full tongue. And you could say, well, I just drank milk, or I just ate something. So maybe it's not a good time to be doing your diagnosis right now. Or is it consistently white and you're noticing that it's been white and it hasn't cleared up? And that could be connected with kidney, adrenal weakness, because your adrenal glands are going to be overworking if your filtration system isn't working, which is your kidneys. And then anemia, which can happen. I was just talking to a client, and she has pale through her tongue, and she was diagnosed with anemia from her doctor, and it's still showing in her tongue. She's still dealing with that. Joint problems, because again, if your filtration system is not working well, your tongue is going to be more white instead of having a beautiful pink to it. It's kind of interesting looking at your tongue too, because usually that's not something you do. You pull it, throw out your tongue, and you look at it. So if you are feeling extra thirsty, if you wake up in the morning and you have puffiness under your eyes, or you have puffiness throughout the day, if you are your face gets bloated easily, or in your body, then that means the stuff that you're doing is affecting and hurting your area of kidneys and also your adrenal gland. So you got to put that all together. If all that is happening, then it's a sure sign that you need to start basically eating more water foods, which would be like more vegetables, which would be getting away from the packaged foods. And so there's more and more depth to go along with this. But this is the surface, and this kind of helps you get started. Another one I wanted to talk about is cracked. So dehydration, exhaustion, and vitamin deficiency. So you see this big crack go right down the center? Well, if you have cracks on the left and right, that could be actually a beginning of showing that you're pre-diabetic. So you have to be aware of that. But dehydration, exhaustion, and vitamin deficiency. And what I've seen in clients is if they have a crack down their tongue and they start becoming aware of what they're doing, this crack actually starts mending itself. So it's important to watch what the tongue is looking like today, to how you're going to be getting those changes and what you're going to be expecting once you start making your changes. So dehydration would be you're drinking enough water. First thing is, if you're only drinking 8 cups of water, which most people are drinking less, 8 is usually not enough, because you're losing water in different places you wouldn't even expect it. So you have to really connect with your energy in a direct link with the extra oxygen that you get in the water, with keeping your nutrients moving. And if you're not doing that, sometimes your body's not going to tell you you're thirsty, but you're going to have symptoms. Exhaustion, again, you're not getting your nutrients going in the right place. your body's going to be feeling achy, and your vitamin deficiency is going to be bad because not everything is coming through in the different limbs, your fingers, your feet, and you can start having some bigger issues like chronic disease when you're having stuff like this happen. So think about that. Dehydration would be also that you have dry mouth a lot. Another good way of thinking about that. The expanded tongue, if you have ridges on the outside of your tongue or beginning of ridges on the outside of your tongue, you're going to see that that is a weak digestion. And what's going on with this is a direct link with your digestion, with your digestive tract. So if you really think about, like we talked about earlier, the cycles of energy that go through your body, your circulation from each organ, and your tongue is a direct link with your digestion. And if you're having swelling in your tongue, you're for sure having some issues in your digestive tract. So from there, you really want to make sure that you start eating in places where you can relax, and you're eating where you're chewing your food enough to where you're going to be stopping yourself from swallowing with whole pieces of food in your mouth, but you're going to start eating more so then you can swallow, and you will find big changes when you start digesting your food in your mouth instead of waiting for your stomach to do it. Your stomach can only do so much, so doing it in your tongue is going to be an incredible way to get all these changes happening. So it's just basic shifts. Add some more water depending on what's going on. Adding more fruits and vegetables that have, like cucumber, that have some kind of water base to it. So really, really healthy stuff, and start watching your tongue change. It is a miracle. So I feel great. I feel like I can conquer the world. That's what Beverly said when she took Fit Camp. I want to share with you Fit Camp. If you've really been enjoying the videos, maybe you caught the 3 videos that I've been sharing with you, or you're really enjoying your time with me today and you want to learn more about the diagnostic tools, you really want the coaching and get the shifts that the jumpstart that Michaela, that Colleen, and Samantha got, I want you to stay with me right here, and I want to talk to you more about Fit Camp. It's a 2-week jumpstart, 14 days to resetting the mind, body, and soul. And so what I'm going to do is I'm going to send out a direct link to you. I'm going to pop in the Fit Camp, and you can actually click the link and it'll open it up into a new window. So let me get that click for you here. So it's normally $197, but while I'm in this 3 video series that I've been sharing with you, it's $57. $57. And there's going to be one coming up starting next week. So I really want you to get in there so you get the planning video. And so let's talk more about what this is about and see if this is something that you would love to be in. So there, I'm going to break down what each live call is and how we start working your journey along the way. But right away, instantly, you get into the workout videos. I've been doing this for over 16 years. You're going to be getting some great stuff with the Muscle Fit Yoga, which is yoga moves along with powerful weights and Fitball. And if you don't have any of those, you can still do it without any of that. So I explained that in the video. Also, excellent planks that you see in this video right here. You have cardio, and you have with cardiovascular, really getting the body going, and also muscle and stomach. You want to go and click the link. Also, if you have your workbook open, it's the last page. You just click the link from that too. You're going to also learn more diagnostic tools for SpaceMap, because again, the more that you know, the more power you're going to get out of your journey. And it's not going to be the question of, oh, does this work or is that working? You're going to be able to start seeing the changes instantly as you're physically feeling the changes and being more intuitive. You're also going to connect with organization. It's so important to be able to feel like you have control over the day. So you're in your planning video, you start looking at your calendar and start really putting your workout times. You're going to put in when we're going to be doing our live calls. And again, it's only 2 weeks, and you're going to see results. There is nothing but action and results happening in this quick 2-week sessions. You have decreased aging factor, increased to, I say, flat belly, increased skinny. What works for you, but losing the weight. And decreased stress factor, because you're getting more organized, you're starting to feel more healthy, so your body is making these shifts that are just incredible. Results is what it's all about, taking action. Realizing that I can feel satisfied by eating so simply and clean. Finishing a meal and not feeling bloated. Beverly, not feeling bloated. Oh, I hate that when I eat the wrong thing and I can feel it on my body. My pants are tight. This is where you learn right away in your planning video. You get your master grocery list. You get your food that you're going to be making, recipes, and you can be as creative as you want. You can follow the recipes exactly or get your own recipes that are parallel to what I'm giving you. Also informative, fun to hear other people's struggles and accomplishments. Jennifer Perfler, she felt like hearing somebody else's struggles helped her connect with her journey because she felt like she was the only one struggling on certain things. So it gave her that opportunity to be able to feel like she's part of the community. So as soon as you step into Fit Camp, you also get your private Facebook group with a community that's going to help support you along the way. Also, thank you for educating me on making healthy choices and explaining how that makes me more fit, healthy, and better capable of taking care of my body. Nancy Stanley. Oh, it's so wonderful to know that as soon as you make these little shifts here and there and understanding, using the diagnostic tools, really planning and learning about how to consistently keep yourself moving forward, then it becomes very empowered feeling. So the first live call that you get with coaching results are using the diagnostic tools to a quick jump start to healing. Also, you get Q&A and you get a hot seat coaching if you're ready to step in and ask questions. But these diagnostic tools, again, you're going to be able to learn more in depth how to use them. With that strategy, we're going to start on Monday with using these diagnostic tools so we can move you forward and see results within 2 weeks. A second live call, which is on Wednesday, balanced blood sugar to weight loss results, and of course, Q&A and hot seat coaching. So balance the blood sugar. Well, how are we going to do that? We're going to be talking about the foods that you're eating. You're already going to be eating the foods that I gave you that are in the master grocery list and that are in the recipes that I gave you, but we're going to talk about that more. What your diagnostic tools tell you, more of the foods that you're going to be eating. How are you going to balance your blood sugar more so that you take the wrinkles out of your face that are just, just tight from sticky blood, and being able to open it up and refresh your skin and feeling younger, feeling less pain, feeling less bloat when you wake up in the morning or in the middle of the night. You know that sluggish feeling that you have? Let's rid the body of that by balancing the blood sugar. The next live call you get are your workouts that bring in the flat belly, Q&A, and hot seat coaching. We're going to talk about the top 10 reasons you should be working out. We're going to be focusing in on the workouts that you've been doing on the platform that I gave you and what's really been working for you. And that's a jump start into moving forward. What's going to be your future workouts? And we can do a planning for the whole year. What's going to be happening for you in 2015 that's going to help you get yourself in alignment that you need the focus of workouts that are going to keep you with your circulation moving, with your damp skin. If you have really moist skin, you really need that cardiovascular, workout. If you're real high anxiety type of person, or you're in that stage right now, then maybe yoga is your plan. So it's really connecting with the right workout for you. Also, live call 4, which is your last one. It's the 10 sabotages that are holding you back, and Q&A with hot seat coaching. 10 sabotages that are holding you back. This is the most wonderful journey of it all, because we start talking about the stuff that's been holding you back and what you've been learning throughout the week and a half with me, and how you've been seeing these changes happening and how you're learning how to deal with these sabotages and some things you didn't even realize were sabotages. So it's a really good, intense coaching on that live 4th call, which is really, really incredible. So if this all looks like this is something that you're ready for with a 2-week jumpstart blood reset, I want you to click the link on the last page of your workbook. I want you to, if you're in live with me, you're going to see a link ready for you where you're just going to press it and go right to the page. There's not much on that page. It's right there to give you some information, some highlights, and then you're ready to step in. You're going to pick your date. And I have 2 there for you right now, February the 9th, which right now, if you jump in, you'll get your planning video and you'll be ready to start your live coaching on the 9th. It's going to be Monday, Wednesday, Monday, Wednesday. It's going to be 14 days. You're going to get daily coaching videos that are going to come to you. March 9th is the other 2-week series. So you have a choice. You don't have to step in right away, but you know you want to do it. You want to get this special. Then I'm offering it to you right now. Make sure you're going to step in and get into action. You have a fit day. Hope to see you on the other side. Please tell me if you have any questions at all about this journey. I would love to share more with you. You have a fit day.